right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into the news review segment. Now, this segment is very interactive. We do want to hear from you. We do want to hear your thoughts on the various conversations we'll be having right here on this segment. All right, so my guests are already seated, but let me just walk you through some of the topics we'll be looking at. The State of the Nation address. Mahama orders suspects in the NSS scandal to be declared wanted and assets frozen. We have Agenda 111 project, 400 million invested so far with non-operational. Okay, so we'll be looking at the Agenda 111 with the issues surrounding that, and the amount that has been invested, and none of them operational. Okay, we have parliamentary proceedings, minority boycott orientation for MPs, and we have the Hajj village conversations, government denies funding project. All right, so those are some of the topics we'll be looking at later on and after I introduce my guest to you. I have joining me this morning Ibrahim Ajay. He is a former assistant secretary of at the office of the former president, and also I have with me Victor Kujuga Adawudu. He's a member of the NDC legal and communications teams. Gentlemen, you are both welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Very good morning.
Yeah. Let me talk to you first.
Yes, please.
How's the weekend?
Very good.
Yeah?
Very good.
Yeah. I understand that Ramadan has begun again?
It has.
Okay.
It has.
Okay.
It has.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Yeah.
We started on Saturday. Okay. I started on Saturday. I think some people started on Friday.
Okay.
But we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
You know, it's a time, and it's very, I'll be very brief on this issue, and I thank you for opening it up. There's something quite extraordinary about Ramadan. When the month starts, there's a certain serenity that you feel personally, and I'm sure that the whole Ummah can identify. When you're praying, the focus is laser focused. You know, somehow the distractions that you normally get when you're praying aren't there.
Yeah.
But we thank God. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're praying for everybody.
Thank you.
Not just Muslims, the whole country, the whole continent, and the whole world.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a month of forgiveness, and also a month of charity. Yeah. And getting closer to Allah in your ibadah, your worship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Hi, Victor.
Yeah, okay, good.
You're looking resplendent in your fugu.
Yes, you know, we are celebrating heritage.
Fugu looks very rich.
Beautiful.
Yes, thanks. You know, I was blessed by some friends from the north.
It's beautiful.
They gave this. Yes.
I love it.
Yes, and then for me, the weekend was also, it was a mixed feeling.
How so?
Yeah, I had a very long-standing friend, whilst we were in the law school, even from Legon.
Okay.
A photographer who had been always with the judiciary taking us. We lost him, so we buried him.
Oh.
And the other one, it's also that I take the opportunity to wish one of my greatest mentors, Professor Alabi. He celebrated his birthday. That was on Saturday.
Okay.
Prof. Onukpa, Nyuma Jobo. Ofianoni Nyuma Yue, Ani Ibabami.
Amen.
I wish him all the best.
Amen.
The great. He's had a lot of influence on me.
Oh, wonderful.
His calm nature, how he handled issues. I think that he's been available to most of us, the young ones. And I think that that's what we expect from our senior members. And you see, on the Ramadan, sometimes when you think how God does his things, you don't understand. He's a mysterious God. You know, we are also having Lent. We are in Lent. And in Lent,
40 days.
you fast.
Yep.
You know, it's a time for cleaning yourself. You know, sanctify yourself before you approach, because we are almost going to celebrate Easter
Around the same time.
Around the same time with the Muslim. That shows you that in this country, at least we see ourselves as brothers. We do things together.
Yeah.
It's haram. Some place you see even a Christian and Muslim eating together in other countries.
It's not done.
But here, we do things together and even find a chief imam in church.
Yep.
You know, we go to, anytime something happens, we all run into Fadama. We want the blessings of the chief imam. If we don't recognize that there is a God who caters for all of us. The only difference is that is the name. They call him Allah. We call him Jehovah. That is all. So I think it's a time that I think that as a nation, our clergy and the sheikhs should also pray for this nation.
Inshallah.
That as things have coincided and moving well, that is all we want.
Yeah.
Everybody wants peace.
Yeah.
It's bread and butter issues.
Yeah.
When everybody has something to do and eat, we'll always live in peace.
Yeah.
And we thank God that it has merged. Yeah. And I think that it is also good that it has been recognized by citizens that this time they should give 2 holidays to the Muslim brothers and sisters so that they can also relax after that.
Yeah.
So I think it is good.
You mean 2 days?
Yes, 2 days holidays, yes.
Yes, yes.
I think that's what the proposal
Victor, you're
is.
right. Just to add to what you're saying, both religions, you know, they are anchored in community.
Yes.
You know, in terms of brotherliness, that fraternity between, you know, we're both Abrahamic religions. From Prophet Ibrahim.
Very much so. Very much
so. You know,
so.
Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all from Prophet Ibrahim, you know, from whom I'm named. But of course, Abraham in the Bible, Avraham in Judaism.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Avraham, Ibrahim, or Abraham.
Yeah.
And it's about community in terms of the tenets of it, oneness. But unfortunately, it's individual societies, as you rightly mentioned, who create this division that is outside of the religion, whereby you won't see a Muslim and a Christian, you know, jaw-joying and breaking bread, which is what all the religions, in fact, advocate. So, yeah.
Super. Well, let's get right into it. We want to start with the SONA and the president's order for the arrest of certain persons and the freezing of assets. So Mahama orders arrest and asset freezing of NSA scandal suspects. And I'll read the story, it's a brief one. President John Dramani Mahama has ordered that the suspects implicated in the National Service Authority scandal be declared wanted with their assets frozen and confiscated. The NSS scandal, which involves the alleged misappropriation of funds meant for the scheme, has sparked public outrage, prompting swift action from Mahama. Now, addressing Parliament in his maiden State of the Nation address in his second term, President Mahama reiterated that authorities have been instructed to intensify their search for the suspects, both locally and internationally, to bring them to justice. Now, some suspects, and I quote, are believed to have absconded, Mahama stated, adding, I have directed that they be declared wanted and their assets frozen and confiscated. The NSS scandal, one of the largest corruption cases in recent history, involved the alleged inflation of a number of fake service personnel, leading to the loss of millions in public funds. The investigations revealed that the ghost names had been added to the payroll, with funds being siphoned off by officials within the authority. I'll start with Victor on this one. President, swift action. As soon as the story came out, for me, I said we needed a quick investigation and action to be taken on this matter. Your thoughts on where we are now?
Yeah, I think that is a call in the right direction. In that anybody who has his hand tainted or is suspected to be involved in any illegalities must be brought before justice. Right. That does not mean that whilst you've not been given the benefit of being heard your side of the story heard and be tried, that you are a criminal. No. Our constitution is clear. It's clear. Article 19 is clear that there should be always a fair trial. That is why the investigative committees or the police or the agencies, they will have to invite you. Or even if they invite you that we are investigating a crime against you, yes, you have the right to bring any lawyer of your choice that lawyer will listen. You are able to say what you want to say, or you can decide to keep mute and say, I won't say anything.
Yeah.
So you cannot, until you are determined by a court of competent jurisdiction, then that is when you can say you are a criminal. For now, you are a suspect. Now, whilst the law has given the agencies the power to arrest, it also gives that power that you should be invited. It's a privilege that the investigation will give you and say, yes, we are looking into this matter. Your name has come up. We want to hear your side. But when you have been given that privilege and you refuse that I'm not going to appear before them, then now they have the power of arrest. I'm sure it is based on the briefings that the president has been given us into the investigation, whether they've been invited, they've not been invited. And I'm sure that those who have been invited have not appeared before the committees. And the allegation is also that, or the suspicion is that some of them have traveled to countries or allegedly relocated to countries where we do not have a convention with them, where there should be extradition. Yes, and the extradition process also, it takes time. Before you build a docket and send to other countries for extradition, it takes time. Now, we also have a law, the legal mutual assistance. That law can also, with another country, you can ask for an assistant from that country.
Okay.
That, look, we need an assistant. We are looking for this person. You know, the police also as an agency, and all the agencies, they do collaboration. So police with the Interpol, they will be able to track. And I'm sure defense intelligence, when you go to the military, the defense intelligence and the signal unit, all these people, when they collaborate, they should be able to know where the person is living. Because definitely you travel with passport. Even if you don't travel with passport, most of the places, your biometric thumbprint and the rest.
Captured.
Yes, it's captured. So when it is, unless when the government is not too keen
on following up.
Because the world has become very global, you can't hide.
Yeah.
You can't hide. Now, you can run, but you cannot hide.
all.
So I will always say that, you know, sometimes the fear that people have, they think that, you know, people have some fear that, listen, I've not done it, but let me run away or let me get away with this. No, I think personally, I believe that when there is something and you explain your side, and your side had been listened, that's where sometimes they say we lawyers, we tell lies. No, when you explain, after explaining, I always ask you, tell me the truth. By law, it tells me that I cannot divulge what we have said. No. There's an oath for secrecy. Anything you tell me when you come to my chamber, I always tell my client first that anything you tell me, even if it is your father or your mother, do you want him to be present so that I can listen to you? If you don't want him present, I will excuse him, because that is the nature of the job.
It's the lawyer-client privilege.
Yes, the privilege. So anything you tell me, I always tell my, if it is heard outside, it is not me, it is you.
Okay.
So once you go and they listen to you, they can now face the investigative agency. But I think that if the people are not available, they are not around, it comes to an indication that truly what they are saying, there must be some iota of truth in it.
Some level of
that is, yes,
guilt.
some level. That is why you are not making yourself available. And let me tell some of these people that, you see, the security agencies, and they've been given that power at least 48 hours, right? If you don't cooperate with them, they can manhandle you. And that's why they will tell you that with some little force, they will manhandle you. And once you are running away, you become a fugitive. When you are arrested, there's no way the courts will grant you bail. The courts will be enjoined to keep you there. So sometimes it makes it easier that even if I think that I'm guilty and I make myself available, I cooperate with them, they may have some mercy on you, or you'll be allowed to be going about your legitimate duty whilst you be attending trial and attending investigation. So I think that their families, those who may be involved or the suspects, I think their families should advise them rather than running away, get yourself caged in somewhere, and life becomes at a standstill. You're always scared. You're over looking over your shoulders every time. I think that let them come. You see, our law is even for now. We have the plea bargaining. When you think that, yes, I've done something wrong, and you can still go back and bargain. I think the most important thing Ghanaians are looking for, if indeed it is true that this amount has gone, all they want is they want their money back. So the law also gives you that opportunity. You can go and say that, I'm sorry, really, this was what was done. This is what came to me. I want to make a plea bargain. So I'll look for the money and bring it back. I'm sure that that is what the state is looking at. It is not always about put you in the gallows. Right? But yes, people are also looking that punishment or sanctions because of the impunity. You don't dip your hand into public purse and think that it is mine, I'm in charge. It's a matter of responsibility. You see, I always say we should differentiate. It is not like when you just appointed, then all of a sudden you think that you have achieved, you have arrived. And the public purse has been given to you. It's a position of responsibility. It's a position to make sure that everything has been done. And you know that one day I would come and account for it. So I always tell people that, listen, when they give you that, pray that God, give me wisdom, give me a knowledge and understanding to be able to discharge my responsibility and scratch. You do it and you go. Then the applause will be loud. But when you come and you think, oh, this person, I've gotten an opportunity, this person now becomes mine. At the end of the day, the little that you take, and when you finish, the punishment that will come, and even cascade to your family, your children. Look, there was a, let me give you one.
I don't think about
there was a prominent citizen during the NDC time. You know, when the father was just a suspect also, he was called. When the son went to school, SS1, the children were just saying, oh, your father is a thief. Your father is a thief. That child could not go complete that school. He had to be sent to a different school or sent outside. Just because they said it was just a suspicion. The child was traumatized in school. That is why the law says that until a competent proves you guilty. So I think that, you know, it's unfortunate that you think that you can go and hide somewhere, change your name and identity. Definitely. Criminal law.
But crime also doesn't have any expiry date.
It doesn't have an expiry date. It doesn't have an expiry date. So for me, it is better you face it, the challenge. And the person I'm talking of now, after we had been to the investigative IOCO, the police, and you know what they said? You are a good man. Go. Don't come here again.
Wow.
I'm telling you, but all over the news, he has done this, he has done this. But when we finished, we wrote statement. They say, oh, go. When we need you, we'll call you. Till date, we've never been called. So sometimes people should have that courage to go and face the institutions. And when they explain their side of the story, I think that will be fine.
Ibrahim.
Yes.
Your take on this.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed this last week. We touched upon it. And it's very important, David, Victor, that we, first of all, understand that it's Ghana who is being disadvantaged. This is where you remove political lenses and you go straight to the issue. And then if you think there's a political machination, we can quickly debunk that because it was the fourth estate
that published
it. It wasn't some government
or
state machinery,
parastatal
or parastatal.
something.
And they found that 81,000 plus names. Who's paying for it? Me, you, Victor, and the viewers of Channel One.
Yeah.
Every Ghanaian is paying for this fraud. And why do I say it's fraud? Because the evidence prima facie, on the face of it, it looks damning.
Yeah.
And the rebuttal from the NSA is not being convincing.
No.
You know, it has not been convincing. And what President Mahama said was that when you do the math, this 81,000 something ghost names yields 50 million cedis a month for those involved. Now, who are those involved? Understand that it's not a one-man, one-woman show.
No.
You have district directors involved. You have those on payroll involved. You know, administrators. It has to be a machinery. One person can't do this. There's a collusion per the allegations that we're seeing. We have to be at least real to the facts before us.
Yeah.
So those who have absconded, I mean, we should name the names so they can clear themselves. Maybe they are on official duty and they need to say, oh, I'm not here because X, Y, Z. I mean, the thing is in the public
Domain
space now.
already
So if
anyway.
you've traveled, quickly get on your social media and say, my attention has been drawn.
Yeah.
So, but I beg you, I'm here for this assignment. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, bring that defense of yourself in the open now.
No,
It's like what happened with Ken Operetta,
yes,
for
exactly.
example, right?
Yeah.
He said, listen, this is what is happening. I'm here. I'll be back in this
That's
next
it, and see how the
episode.
matter is
It's
now
simple. Yeah.
dissolved. Because if you think that you can fly away, I'm again assuming that you are indeed guilty and that's the reason why you've gone, think again. April 2024, what happened? Sedina Tamaklo, the former CEO of Maslock, she was tried in absentia. Her chief operating officer, Daniel Aksimdo, was here. He was tried and found guilty. He's serving 5 years. Sedina Tamaklo, the former CEO of Maslock, was found guilty because she didn't turn up for 10 years. Right now, she enters Ghana straight to someone for 10 years with hard labor. And what were they accused of? What was it? Because when we were in government, I had personally, it wasn't hearsay, I personally saw the documents regarding what had happened. They did something called sensitization. I'm coming back on track. I'm not diverting. They under her watch, they said they were going to do Maslock sensitization, like educating people how to apply and what have you, for which they removed 1.7 million Ghana cedis from government to do the nationwide sensitization. Education, it costs money. But they only spent 1,700 cedis out of the 1.4 million, sorry. Yeah. No, let me get it right. So my
So
my
out of
figures
the
are correct.
1.4 million,
Yes.
they spent 1,000.
No, there's two different things.
Okay.
You had altogether, there was one case for 1.7 million.
Okay.
That was the sensitization.
Okay.
Of which they spent like 1,700 cedis. Okay. Then you had another one whereby there was an inferno at Cantamanto, just like what happened recently, of which they said they were going to disperse 1.4 million cedis. But when the accounts were checked, only 579,000 cedis had been spent. You said, I'm giving 1.4 million to the victims of the fire, Cantamanto, but only 579,000. And per what was found at court, Daniel Aksim and Sedina Tamaklo pocketed the balance. Now I'm coming back to the issue here. For the sake of our viewers, I don't want them to think it's diversion. But I want to buttress what Victor said. You can't hide. The trial started 2019, and you've been found guilty. And how did she abscond? She said that there's some medical reasons, so she sought permission. Went to the UK and US, and then suddenly, so the medical condition is ongoing, but you've been found guilty. So what should happen to the NSA staff? And as I say, it has to be a collusion, Victor, across various departments. And so I think it's important that those who have absconded, who the BNI cannot speak to right now, let us know their names. It gives that transparency to government and to, of course, to we the people, that these people, and they may also urge them as Victor mentioned, to come and clear your name. Now, beyond this, we've got to try and do the checks and balances. How is it that 50 million cedis every month, I mean, do the math, every month, not 1 month old, look at the year, the time span, has been stolen from government, from me and you and our viewers on Channel One. It has to find, the word I want to use is, we have to be satisfied when everything is done accordingly and the rule of law is applied and their defense is listened to in court. Should it happen, as I believe it will happen, that they are found guilty, we have to be hard on them. If we do this kind of soft gloves and it will make us lose trust, we the people, that checks and balances aren't being applied when somebody is found guilty of the law.
Now, Kweku, yes, the national service thing is the tip of the iceberg. Why do I say so? Listen, how could this transaction beat the gift mix? All the technology we've been putting in place at Ministry of Finance, Controller and Accountant General, those who are making the payments to national service, even the auditor. So is the auditor saying that when they audit, they don't see anything wrong, and all of a sudden it is that the end of a government that we have realized, or whilst
when there are non-Ghanaian names on the list,
on
they
the
are making
list,
payments
they
to
have not
non-Ghanaian
even
names.
checked. So are you saying that they don't have collaborators within the other agencies? I'm sure the Fourth Estate will give us more information, better particulars, because there's no way with the gift mix, the way it is done, before it is inputted, before salaries are paid and others, they were always doing roll call, they were doing audit to know the number of people and the head count. So what was the head count and the rest they were doing at GES? Weren't they doing for the national service? No. I think that this is a... And let me say clearly here that if the NDC as a party do not look into this and punish the people and collect the money, I think that Ghanaians will never forgive the party. Because all they are looking for now is accountability. They want people to be punished. They know there's no money for now. It's not that things are looking better. Things are looking better. So they know you can't feed us. You can't give us jobs within a month or two. But they are expecting that all those who are involved in this grand scheme, this grand fraud, all should be brought before book. Let them come, explain themselves. Speak themselves. Like just the Sedinam one, you say, sometimes I feel sad. Yes, she might have been sick, she might have been outside, but I don't know what the factors may have hindered her coming back. But this goes on that there had been a judgment on you. There's a conviction on you. And like I said, it will cascade down. It is a blot on your family, right? It will always be there. But maybe if she was around, because initially I was involved, I know what went on. If she had been there and had given explanation, the 500,000 and the capacity building. You know what actually happens in Maslop?
You know what I find a bit
in Maslop
disturbing?
was that, because you see, it doesn't have a legal basis. It is part of the office of the president. So instead of this sensitization you are doing, because of the policy, it is mixed with politics. President go to speak, then they organize some women and organize a sensitization for them. Then they say, we have spent this amount. So they go here. So it's sometimes in the political seasons, they follow the
campaign trail.
The campaign trail. They finish, then they say, we are disbursing money to the women. There and there. So the structure has not been a structure very well.
Yeah.
Just to come back onto this, what you mentioned is 100% right about there's a gap.
Yeah.
But let's go back to 2014. Alaji Alassane Moro the former NSS director, guilty of stealing 89 million cedis. And then we had 22,000, the number is here, 612 ghost names. It tells you it's a canker that spreads across.
Yeah.
This is 2014.
Yeah.
And I remember I was hitting hard because you do that in the interests of Ghana.
Yeah.
And politically you do that as well.
Important.
So look at that, 2014. For those who want to Google, it's Alhaji Alhassan Imoro. Just do NSA 2014 fraud. 89 million Ghana cedis. He was caught, arraigned before court. But why am I bringing his story up? That the gaps, gift miss, and all the other interventions, at the end of the day, it's a human being who pushes the button. Am I right?
Yeah.
We entered here because your, let's say your floor director on the lights, so you can see us. So how do you do it? How can we remove the human element? I'm now trying to give a solution to the problem without taking too much on this subject. If we employ blockchain technology, whereby across the administrative chain, any addition, deletion, addition is across board. So
so it reflects automatically down the line.
If you change one thing here, a red flag will show up.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
It's the same technology by which Bitcoin works. That's why it's so robust and strong. Because every PC, let me put it that way, computer on which that transaction is done is coded.
Okay.
So you imagine having to delete 1,000 computers because I've changed something at the end.
Yeah.
So we need this kind of technology on our system here. Again, with artificial intelligence, I'll be very brief, 10 more seconds, so that we can have automated, intuitive systems to say that, hold on, we have 80,000 people here. Where are they from? Because we don't see them in the
showing
train.
up on this thing.
Yes, because the institutions to which they've been posted have confirmed that 50,000 people have turned up this month.
Yeah.
Why
So
the
where's the
80,000?
extra people?
You need an automated system, robust, that can flag these up. Otherwise, we'll be in the same situation. I mean, 2014, 22,000 ghost names. Now 80,000 ghost names. We need to make sure that we catch them if and when found guilty, and make sure that the full law is applied.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's more on Breakfast Daily.